Hey guys, Jack here. After a couple of weeks break away from YouTube and social media to focus on my mental health, I'm happy to say that I've been feeling a lot better recently and I'm back exclusively creating exciting videos on the next Dragon Age. I just want to quickly throw out a huge thank you to everyone who sent me their love and care this past month. From the bottom of my heart, I've tremendously appreciated it. Anyhow, with that said, I'm back, revitalized and pumped up for creating new content, and I've got a lot of new videos to throw at you. Today I'm catching up on all the major Dragon Age 4 news updates throughout the recent months, because put me in a dress and call me a Templar, we've got a lot to talk about, ranging from new concept art, EA Play Live 2021, development updates during the pandemic, recent job listings and more. So swinging back into this, as we say in the north of England, let's crack on, shall we? If you're like me, Dragon Age Dark Fortress has just wrapped up, which offered 3 months of incredibly tasty lore to digest. So tasty that I'm still working on new videos regarding the latest issues. However, with the ending to that amazing comic run, you're probably extremely upset while wondering what's next for Dragon Age. Well, most excitingly, it's June, and that means E3 is around the corner, the perfect opportunity for many world premieres and reveals on upcoming games. Hopefully, BioWare has something in store for all of us Dragon Age fanatics. Currently, we have 2 confirmed events that EA are attending, which means BioWare could make an appearance at either event. Firstly, EA are participating in Summer Game Fest Kickoff, Jeff Keighley's own presentation that will reveal 12 plus world premieres along with updates to upcoming games, very much like Gamescom and the Game Awards. Jeff has confirmed there will be big games shown. The show will be around 2 hours on Thursday, June 10th. It will start at 11 AM Pacific Standard Time, 2 PM Eastern Standard Time, 7 PM British Summer Time, and 8 PM Central Eastern Time. So mark that date in your calendar. It's only a week away. We don't know yet what EA will reveal, however, they will have some presence at this show. They're probably going to reveal Battlefield 6 in anticipation to show more at EA Play 2021. But even so, we should all stand ready and tune into this event just in case BioWare appears. Furthermore, EA have announced EA Play Live 2021, happening on July 22nd, with more information to follow. Usually EA Play is in June, the Thursday before E3. However, this year we've got a July date. Throughout the year's gaming events, EA Play Live is the best place to expect any new Dragon Age trailers and information. At this moment, EA/BioWare haven't made any Dragon Age related announcements regarding any new trailer at EA Play Live or any event for that matter. However, we did receive 12 seconds of in-engine footage of the next Dragon Age last year, so perhaps we'll see more this EA Play. Regardless, if any prior official announcements are made from BioWare, you can bet I'll cover that in a news video, and if we get new info or a new trailer, you can bet I'll break that all down. I will be streaming Summer Game Fest next week and EA Play Live in July. If you'd like to watch these shows with me, tap that notification bell so you don't miss the second I go live. Even so, mark June 10th and July 22nd down as days to clown for another look at the next Dragon Age. In other news, on April 30th, executive producer Christian Daly revealed another brand new piece of concept art focused on a relevant faction going forward for the next Dragon Age. He tweeted, "Is this the right amount of pointy and grey?" followed up with a new, stunning Grey Warden concept piece. This imposing warrior Grey Warden is showing off their new stripes, whilst in some kind of mountain desert terrain. I'm not going to spend too much time breaking down this concept art like I have the others, because I feel like this piece is a lot more straightforward and self-explanatory. However, there are a few key things I've noticed. This Warden is wearing a new type of Grey Warden heavy armor. I've noticed a few similarities with the Warden Commander armor set in Dragon Age Origins, but even so, there are many significant changes with this concept Warden. This new armor set is very bulky and pointy. While blue and grey are still the primary colours of this Warden, the gold accents in the armor and weapons add a regal aesthetic to this Warden. Could they be someone of significance, or is this the Grey Warden's style in the northern regions of Thedas? Their sword and shield are magnificently designed. The attention to detail is beautiful, not to mention their cloak is fantastic. Just like the witch hat in the Manratha's concept piece, I am in love with this cloak design. I think cloaks and capes like this are a much needed attire in the next Dragon Age, though I can imagine a lot of clipping issues with weapons. The Griffin silhouette design only proves further that this character is indeed representing the Grey Wardens. I get the impression impression that this Warden is stoic, intimidating and strong. Overall, this Warden looks like a hero, standing tall and proud, ready to face as many Darkspawn as they can. Considering this character is indeed a Grey Warden, it confirms my suspicions about the figures shown in the Game Awards trailer. Bear with me for this, but we've had 3 faction-based concept art character pieces from Christian Daly this year already. Adding to this, the Game Awards 2020 trailer revealed 4 enigmatic figures representing the factions our new hero will witness in the next game. Also, the 4 Dragon Age Day short stories had plots revolving around 4 different factions which seemed to be the same as the figures in the Game Awards trailer and these concept art pieces. It's all tied together. It most certainly seems like these factions are the Grey Wardens, the Executors, not the Executors. I'm trying to get into a rhythm of saying it properly, but bear with me for that as well. And then we have an unknown Tevinter anti-slavery movement and the Antivan Crows. It seems that each faction is going to have a lot of significance in the next Dragon Age's narrative. So far, based on concept art, the Executor seemed to show off a ranged rogue hybrid class. The Tevinter anti-slavery movement member is a mage class, and this Grey Warden is a sword and shield warrior class. Given these connections and ties, speculatively, the next faction-based concept art piece is most likely going to be an Antivan Crow dual-wielding rogue. Place your bets, people. Even so, this is just some fun speculation from myself. I do feel like I am connecting a few dots though between the trailers, the short stories, and the recent concept art pieces. What do you think about these faction ties? Are they each representing the same factions? And what factions do you think they are in your opinion? Moving on to a huge update, Chief Producer Scylla discussed the challenges of the next Dragon Age's production during the pandemic at Brazil's Independent Games Festival. The talk was fortunately uploaded at a later date with an English dubbed speaker. If you would like to watch it for yourself, I'll have a link down below. However, you don't have to because I have swept through it all and wrote down the main takeaways from Scylla's talk. So, without further ado, Scylla introduced himself as one of the heads of the next Dragon Age project. Scylla and another producer are directly under executive producer Christian Daly. He opened up the talk, revealing the crash course timeline of BioWare's development cycle with regards to the next Dragon Age's production. The first stage of game development is pre-production. Within BioWare, the pre-production stages of any project can have a size between 5, 30 and 60 people. In this early stage, core concepts, prototypes and system developments are heavily iterated on. Considering BioWare creates story-driven games, plenty of time is spent on creating many tools for the game's narrative. Other focuses during this stage are on the game's key features as well as market research. The next Dragon Age is currently in its production stages. This is the stage after pre-production where the team goes through the whole development of content and features. At this point, the team has the majority of the game's systems in place. Some new systems may be created with the implementation of newer features. The team also starts growing tremendously bigger as the development progresses. After the production stages, Dragon Age 4 will go on to its alpha stage. Within this stage, the game systems should all be running and working and the game's features should be fully implemented. Technical tests are then assessed and lots of QA players test and play the game. The stage after alpha is the beta stage. At this point, the game should have its entire content added. The team will then focus on balancing the game. Many more tests are run in order to further test the balance. Final tweaks are then also made. After the beta stage, it's the launch stage where the team creates something known as the War Room. Everyone in every department comes together once a day to the meeting room where every single existing issue is brought up. Then those issues are prioritized on what needs to be done depending on importance leading up to launch day. After the game has shipped, the focus is then on patching the game. Day 0 patches with more tweaks and fixes to follow. And the final stage of BioWare's development cycle is the new content stage with the creation of downloadable content post-launch. This cycle offers a very thorough perspective on the next Dragon Age's production stages and how far into development it actually is. Scylla moved on and explored the next game's production at the heights of the pandemic. On the 12th of March 2020, BioWare held a team meeting reviewing the story for the next Dragon Age. Scylla said that everyone was very excited. However, on the evening of that day, an EA CEO emailed each developer stating that due to the pandemic, everyone was to start working remotely. Given this overnight mandate, less than 50% of the devs were not ready to work from home straight away due to many issues, like not having a VPN. Scylla and his team team started working on short-term changes that were needed. Their top priority was to take care of the developers, reviewing each situation on a case-by-case basis and supporting the needs of each person. A lot of working hours were made flexible, as well as deadlines. This support is still strong today for each developer. There was a lot of work looking at the individual team's need for certain gear and equipment, ensuring that each developer had the required kit for working remotely. Every 3 months, there was a sum of money that was given so the teams could buy specific developers' kit, like new mice, keyboards, microphones, webcams, etc. Regarding mid and long-term changes, Scylla said they had to look at them from two perspectives: the change in personal and professional environments. As an example of a change in a personal environment, Scylla showed his Fitbit stats that drastically dipped once the team had started working from home. The number of steps he'd previously taken when working in the office were halved because of working remotely. This had an effect on his productivity as he then got a kidney stone. Each of the developers were going through similar situations and felt like they needed to adapt to a new routine in order to feel more productive. Scylla in particular started getting dressed at the same time, planned meetings not through lunch, got a standing desk and a treadmill, etc., all with the motivation to get more active. Each developer found and built their own routine, ensuring they were going for a walk or getting a new hobby to remain active. As a result, the developers became more productive when working. On the professional side, the team had to improve their remote delivery of builds. When working from home, developers need a VPN so they can download builds, make their changes to the game, and then upload the updated build to the server. To help each developer access the build, Scylla and his team worked with new infrastructure and found a way for each developer to remotely access the console build kit in the BioWare offices via streaming methods. The team also worked on adapting new channels of communication. Scylla revealed a shot of a few developers storyboarding the narrative before motion capture implementation to reflect the draft that quickly illustrates the intent of the scene. Before the pandemic, the team could sit in the meeting room and discuss things with ease. However, during the pandemic, BioWare had to adapt to new channels of communication like Zoom meetings and reanalyzing their Slack server. Another issue that the team had to face was the amount of meetings they needed to have while working remotely. Essentially, any conversation within the team became a meeting because of the uncertainty of the pandemic. At one point, there were so many meetings throughout the day that not much time was dedicated to actual production. To overcome this, the team questioned which meetings should take priority, which conversations should be taken to Slack instead. They wrote meeting notes for anyone who didn't necessarily need to be in said meeting but wanted to know what was discussed. With these guidelines in place, the number of meetings decreased and the production improved significantly. From a content point of view, the most difficult thing about the pandemic was adapting performance and motion capture. Previously, BioWare hired actors to fill out scenes for the next Dragon Age for animation and scene frameworks. The pandemic brought great limitations to what BioWare could and couldn't do. As a fix, the motion cap actors wore masks and socially distanced themselves for their own safety. No other crew members were on scene and the directors were guiding the actors through a Zoom call. Scylla shared that these adaptations made the work harder. However, the team managed to do it. When it was once said to be impossible to do things like motion capture remotely, the team had strived through challenges like this and they made them possible, which is honestly inspiring. Going forward for the future development of the next Dragon Age, depending on each developer's roles, some of them may continue working from home while some slowly return to work at the offices. During the pandemic, BioWare began hiring other developers outside of the Edmonton and Austin studios. Because of this, the team gained more talent that they wouldn't have been able to before without those developers relocating. They're going to continue doing this. In summary, Scylla ended the talk with answering a few questions. As a big fan of Dragon Age, he's really excited for the next game. Scylla believes that they have the opportunity to launch the best story with Dragon Age 4. The characters are amazing and Scylla is dying to say more, but he can't. And on that exciting notion, these are the main takeaways from Scylla Costa's talk, which was exceedingly insightful on Dragon Age's current production. I'm honestly so thankful Scylla did this talk and that it was dubbed for English speakers. Huge heaps of thanks from myself. Following that, we've got a bit of sad news to divulge. A few key staff members have recently departed from the Dragon Age team. At the end of March, 14-year narrative quality designer Aaron Labray left BioWare, seeking a change. Aaron is now a principal narrative designer at the Chinese Room. I wish him all the best on his future endeavors. I really enjoyed Aaron's short story, Into Winter Nights. He wrote An Old Crow's Old Tricks. And with that as an example of his work, BioWare are surely at a loss without him. I wonder if the main story and narrative narrative beats had been fairly completed to a point where Aaron felt like he could leave without disturbing the process. It's widely known that within BioWare, the writing team finishes first, while the main production teams crack on with the main development of the game. For example, David Gader has shared in the past that the writing teams will be creating codex entries and banter scenes after the main narrative has been drafted, while the other production teams begin to pick up the pace. Whatever the reason, it's always sad when a veteran leaves BioWare, however I am absolutely wishing Aaron very well for his future. In addition, at the start of May, audio artist Presley Hines left BioWare. She said that it's been bittersweet to say the least. I am a little bit more saddened with Presley's departure because we're mutuals on Twitter and she's always been incredibly kind to me. Even so, I am absolutely wishing her incredibly well at Sony and hope she's having a great time working there. On the flip side of these recent departures, BioWare Edmonton are currently hiring a lot of production related job positions. There's a job position for a senior gameplay designer for the next Dragon Age. This listing in particular hints at a few gameplay indicators that are being iterated on. As a TLDR, the ideal candidate for this designer role would be responsible for developing and tuning the overall game feel of the character, camera and controls. They would take ownership of the camera system and control set for a next-gen action RPG, as well as work with the animators, engineers and designers to ensure responsive character movement, intuitive controls and immersive gameplay that is dynamic and fun. Very interesting stuff that offers a tiny indicator for Next Dragon Age's gameplay and feel. If anyone is up for any of these job positions, I'll post the link to BioWare's hiring page in the description. And the final story I have for you is more of an update than anything. As we already know, the Next Dragon Age has been planned with a release window of any time after April 2022. We've known that since EA's 2019 October earnings call, when EA CFO Blake Jorgensen said that the Next Dragon Age will come after fiscal April 2022. In the middle of May 2021, EA had another earnings call focusing on the immediate future of 2022, with titles like Battlefield, Apex and EA Sports outlined. There was no word on the Next Dragon Age other than BioWare have a new title coming out in the future. So, considering the Next Dragon Age hasn't been outlined in this earnings call focusing on 2022 games releases, this clarifies that the next game won't be releasing next year and will most likely have a 2023 plus release. While there was some hope for potentially releasing after April 2022, that's certainly not the case anymore. Like I said, the majority of us knew this, but for the outliers watching this, don't expect the Next Dragon Age to release next year. We're just going to have to be patient and allow the developers time to craft the best experiences possible without crunching. I think I speak for us all when I say we don't want a Dragon Age title created with crunch and awful working conditions. We'd like the next game to have a happy working environment and release when it's ready, in BioWare's time and no one else's. By the sounds of things with Scylla's talk, BioWare are attempting to create the best narrative possible, and I think being patient and waiting for BioWare to create that in their own time is certainly going to be worth it in the long run. In any event, I am here for the long haul as always, so you're already in the right place as we communally wait and prepare for the next Dragon Age. Since the start of this year, I've had so many plans for new videos and ideas I just want to throw at you all, and given that I have taken a long break, you can just expect plenty of new content coming from me very soon, so stay tuned for all that. I really appreciate your time if you've made it to this point in this video. Until the next one, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.